Please welcome from EO Los Angeles, Ivan Estrada.
I was in second grade when my teacher, Miss Jill, handed me a dustpan and a small duster and instructed me to sweep the entire classroom floor on my knees. While she sat on top of her desk, looking down at me, she said something I would never forget. Ivan, you shouldn't tell anyone you're Mexican. If you do, no one will respect you. You'll never get the opportunities in life you want unless you're okay working as a gardener or a mechanic. You have light skin. Tell people you're Italian. That was so hard to process. So many different feelings came over me that day. For a couple of seconds, fear, and then anger, and then hurt. I didn't have the tools to process what was happening. I was 7. You know, my mom and dad would always say that I was funny, that I was smart, that I was perfect. But Miss Jill, she told me a different story. She told me I was broken, and I believed her. She told me I wasn't good enough, and I believed her. She told me that if I didn't lie about who I was, I would never amount to anything, and I believed her. This moment would forever control the narrative of my life for several years after that. Now, by the time I'm in 7th grade, 12 years old, I was a complete hot mess, right? But come on, like what 7-year-old isn't? I was this whitewashed kid wearing Abercrombie and Fitch and puka shells. Remember those puka shells? During this time, I also realized I started looking at boys much differently. I was attracted to them, and it scared me. My parents were very religious and taught me to be the same. In this world, you're not allowed to be gay, especially in the early 90s, actually even now, depending on where you live in the world or where you live in the US. In some places, you can't even say the word. Now, I used to pray to God every single night, begging him to make me normal. I would turn on MTV and see gay people die of AIDS, and I would say, I don't want to die. I can't be this thing. I can't be this thing. And at the same time, I was pursuing a career in music. I had a record contract and a music manager, and so I had to be extra careful. And I thought I was doing a good job until my music manager, Craig, pulled me aside. Ivan, I'm not sure if you're gay or not, but if you are, don't you ever come out of that closet. If you do, you'll lose everything and anyone who's ever meant anything to you. That includes your family and your career. Plus, no one likes gay people. They're disgusting. So now, at 12, I can't be Mexican, and I can't be gay. 2 things I couldn't control. And I thought to myself, well, I can lie about it. I can lie about being Mexican. I'm telling people I'm Italian already. And I'll just lie about being gay. I'll get married. I'll have kids. I have to do it for my family. I have to do it for myself. And I have to do it for my future. And fast forward to 18. I was driving to college. And I get a phone call from my dad. Ivan, come home right now. My heart dropped. Because I thought, shit, he knows something. And as I'm walking to the front door, opening the door, I see my mother and father with a look of fear on their face, a look I had never seen before. My dad walks up to me and says, Ivan, are you gay? I was like, no, Dad, no. Who told you that? Ivan, I'm gonna ask you again, are you gay? I was like, no, Dad, no, that's not me. I'm gonna ask you one last time. Are you gay? Yes. Yes. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't want to be this. I'm sorry, Dad. And he lunges himself towards the wall, starts crying, and my mom's pulling at the bottom of my shirt on her knees, begging me to tell her that it was just a joke. At that moment, I knew I had destroyed my family. I ran to my room, grabbed my backpack, filled it with clothes, and I was driving to the parking structure that would become my home for the next couple of weeks. While I sat in my car, I said, this isn't working anymore. I gotta change this. I gotta create a closet full of masks that I can wear for every occasion and give everyone what they want, because obviously this isn't working anymore. You want me to be the asshole, rigid, no feelings? I'll put that mask on for you. I'll give you that. What about you? The sweet, kind, loving Ivan? I'll put on that mask for you. How about that? I made it my mission to give everyone the version they wanted, every version except mine. And that worked for a while. Well, with the help of alcohol. Alcohol was the only time I felt like I could be myself. It was when it stopped all the voices telling me that I was a piece of shit, that I was garbage, that I was a liar and a cheat. And at 30 years old, I went out drinking with friends and almost overdosed. I had hit my bottom. I felt defeated, embarrassed, and ashamed. The shame became so intense that I took it out by drinking more alcohol. At this point, there's nothing left for me to do but to surrender. I had to give up, and I needed to find help. First, I needed to stop drinking. So I found an incredible group of people to help me get clean and help me get honest. Then, I went back and did research on my ancestors. I learned more information about my grandparents and the struggle my parents had to face as Mexicans in the US. That made me proud. Then, I went and I did more research on the LGBTQ+ community, my community. I met others with similar stories to mine, so many hard but inspiring stories of courage and strength. They helped me to love myself again. You know, looking back, I'm grateful for the experience that Miss Jill and Craig gifted me, because they helped me discover who I was meant to be, and they helped me discover my purpose. To the Miss Jills out there, yes, Mexicans can be gardeners and mechanics. There's no shame in hard work. But Mexicans can also be, or let me rephrase that, I can also be a CPA, an entrepreneur, a real estate broker, an author, a public speaker, and anything else that I put my mind to. And to the Craigs out there, yes, you were right. I did lose everything. But I gained who I was meant to be by getting it all back. And standing in front of you today is a 38-year-old gay Latino man who's super proud about who he is, and I am my version of my American dream. Thank you. Thank you. Woo! I'm almost done. Thank you. The best part is coming. I should have just ended it there. Okay. So mom and dad, right? It took us some time, but we reconnected. We're now stronger than ever. I realized that they were just adults that happened to be my parents. They didn't know. They only knew what they knew from what they were told from their parents, from their culture. Now my parents have their son back, and I have them, and we are stronger than ever. And that's something that I will never, ever forget. And now we're getting close to the end. As I was driving to that parking structure, I was listening to a song by one of my favorite artists, Frank Sinatra. And he has a song called My Way. And I thought to myself, you know, one day I'm gonna live my way. Imagine that. For what is a man? What has he got? If not himself, then he has not to say the things he truly feels, and not the word of one who kneels. The record shows I took the blows and did it my way. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
You guys, it doesn't get any better than it, does it? You guys, I want to welcome the talkers up one more time for a quick photo. Let's give them one more big round of applause. Let's get a photo real quick. Let's get a photo. Go to the front, go to the front, go to the front. These guys have some...
They want one more. Here you go. Just thank you. Amazing. There you go. Thank you. Amazing. Incredible. Thank you. That's thank you very much. Wonderful. Thank you. Great. There you go. Thanks. Sure.
Thank you, Christine.
One more time, guys.
Yeah.